You're eating healthy, you're putting in the effort, and still, your body isn't responding. That stubborn belly fat you used to get rid of easily now refuses to budge. You feel more tired, less strong, like you've lost control over yourself. And no, you're not alone. This is what no one tells you about hormonal changes after 40. And today, I'm going to explain how you can reclaim your energy, your figure, and your well-being. No extreme diets, no starving, and no killing yourself with cardio. Stick around until the end, because not only will you understand what's happening to you, but you'll also walk away with a clear strategy and science-backed exercises to help you feel like yourself again. This is Mariana, a woman just like you, just like so many others. Just a year ago, her reflection in the mirror no longer showed the woman she identified with. Her body felt heavier, her face more tired, and that constant discomfort in her midsection couldn't be hidden by any tea, cream, or diet. But the hardest part wasn't physical, it was that constant, silent thought. What am I doing wrong? Mariana had tried everything she used to do. The things that always worked. Eating less, moving more, cutting calories, eliminating carbs, forcing herself into morning cardio sessions. And yet nothing. Not a single change. Day after day, the same fatigue, the same bloating, the same frustration. She felt like she was losing the battle against her own body. Today, we're going to look at what Mariana discovered, and more importantly, how you can apply exactly the same from home, without pressure, without extreme diets, without punishing yourself. Because the problem isn't food, it's not your age, and it's definitely not your metabolism. The real enemy is misinformation. That gap that leaves us alone without guidance, right when we need the most support. You know what's the most unfair part of all this? Feeling guilty. Guilty for not having the same energy, for not being as productive, for not being able to do it all like before. And you ask yourself, am I giving up? Do I just lack willpower now? And the answer is no. It's not a lack of discipline. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's that no one ever told you that after 40, your body no longer plays by the same rules. It's not broken. It's not weak. It's readjusting. It's going through a hormonal shift just as profound as the one you experienced during adolescence. But this time, without an instruction manual. During perimenopause and menopause, your hormones shift into a new rhythm. One of the most affected is estrogen. And no, estrogen isn't just a female hormone. It's like a whole orchestra that regulates way more than your fertility. It affects your mood, your ability to sleep, how your body processes food, and yes, where your body stores fat. When estrogen levels start to drop, your body enters a kind of protection mode, like it's activating an internal emergency system. And what does it do? It stores fat. Fat that you used to burn off with a little exercise and mindful eating. Now it sticks, especially around the abdominal area. But here's the thing, this fat isn't like it used to be. It's not just a simple layer of stored energy. It's something much more complex. It's called visceral fat. And it's active, inflammatory, and dangerous. This fat isn't just sitting there. It produces substances that circulate through your body, triggering processes that can damage tissues, affect organs, and increase your risk of disease. This is not just a cosmetic issue, it's a deep health issue. And what most women don't know is that this can be reversed. Not with starvation, not with exhausting effort, but with information and a strategy tailored to this new phase of life. Science is clear. According to the Mayo Clinic, this type of fat is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and even some types of cancer. So, when you see your waistline expanding, even though you're eating the same, you're not failing. It's your body reacting to a new hormonal environment. And here's the ironic part. The usual solutions, eating less, working out more, often make the problem worse. Why? Because they create internal stress. And that stress has a name: cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone your body releases when it senses danger. When you fast excessively, overdo cardio, or sleep poorly, your body sees it as a threat. And what does it do? It stores fat, especially in your belly. Let's go back to Mariana. She was doing everything right. On paper. She counted calories, went out running, gave up her favorite meals, but she was constantly exhausted, sleeping poorly, and worst of all, the scale wasn't moving. Until she understood this, it's not about fighting your body, it's about working with it. And that requires a new approach. No more punishment diets, no more exhausting workouts, and above all, no more guilt. Mariana began following a simple yet deeply transformative strategy. A strategy designed for her stage, her biology, and most importantly, her reality. It wasn't a workout pulled from a magazine or a plan copied from social media. It was a formula with 3 essential pillars: balanced hormones, functional movement, and nourishing nutrition. But before breaking down what each one means, you need to understand why it works. Because this isn't just about doing new things. It's about understanding the why behind every step, and that's what makes the difference between quitting and truly transforming. It all starts with the factor we often ignore: internal stress. We live in a constant rush, work pressure, family demands, never-ending self-expectations. And all of that, even if you don't see it, has a direct impact on your body. When that stress builds up, it affects the quality of your sleep. And when you don't sleep well, it triggers a domino effect. During deep sleep, your body repairs itself, your nervous system resets, your hormones rebalance. But if that rest doesn't happen the way it should, everything else falls out of place. Especially 2 key hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin tells you when you're hungry. Leptin tells you when you're full. If you sleep poorly, ghrelin goes up and leptin goes down. The result? More hunger, less control. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up with no energy, but all you want is something sweet. Or you feel completely unable to stop eating once you start. That's not a lack of willpower, it's a hormonal system out of balance. It's your body chemistry running on autopilot. Now imagine adding the wrong kind of workout to that hormonal chaos. Intense cardio, endless jumping, sessions that leave you drained, shaky, and mentally fried. Your body interprets all of that as an attack, not self-care. And how does it respond? With cortisol, that same hormone that rises in response to danger. And when it stays high, it causes inflammation, fat retention, especially belly fat, emotional imbalance. More cortisol, more anxiety, more stubborn fat. Can you see it more clearly now? It's not that you're not doing enough, it's that you're doing too much, but in the wrong direction. And that's way more common than you think. Women pushing themselves every day, disciplined, exhausted, but trapped in a system that was never designed for them. Sound familiar? Then breathe. Because from here on out, everything changes. I'm going to show you how to take back control. How to move in a way that activates your metabolism without attacking it, how to eat to build real energy, and how to sleep so your body can finally let go of everything it's been holding on to. Because your energy didn't disappear. It's still there. It just needs you to learn how to wake it up again. And that's exactly what Mariana did. But here comes the part that surprises many. The first step wasn't a magic supplement. It wasn't joining a gym. It wasn't jumping on the latest trendy diet. It was something deeper, more effective, and completely accessible. She changed the way she moved. She let go of the same old routines. She quit the workouts that promised fast fat burning, but in reality just left her more exhausted, more inflamed, and more frustrated. Mariana realized that the goal was no longer to sweat until she dropped, or to count calories burned. It was something much smarter. Retrain her metabolism to work in her favor again. And that's only possible with a very specific kind of training. Low-impact functional movement, designed for women going through deep hormonal change. Conscious, slow, controlled movements, where breathing guides each motion, where there are no jumps or spikes in stress, just sustained muscle tension, activation without aggression. The goal wasn't exhaustion, it was muscle activation. Because at this stage, muscle is more than just strength. It's metabolic health, it's prevention, it's It's the foundation of your energy. And when you start moving your body from a place of respect, understanding, and connection, change doesn't slow down, it accelerates. You might think lifting weights or doing slow exercises is useless, but studies from the European Institute of Hormonal Rehabilitation showed that low-intensity workouts with sustained muscle tension can boost metabolism for up to 48 hours. Without raising cortisol, your body needs muscle. Muscle doesn't just give you strength and shape. It's the most metabolically active organ in the body, and even building it in small doses completely transforms how your body uses energy. Mariana started with simple exercises, slow movements with control, no jumping, no burnout, just connection, tension, and technique. And within a few weeks, she saw the changes, not just in her body, but in her mood. She slept better. She had more mental clarity. Her clothes started to fit differently, and most importantly, she stopped feeling frustrated. But here comes the critical part. If you only train but don't eat properly, the change won't come. And no, we're not talking about eating less. We're talking about eating differently. At this stage of life, your body has urgent nutritional needs. High-quality protein to maintain and build muscle. Healthy fats to balance your hormones. Complex carbs to fuel your body with real energy, without sugar crashes. What Mariana did was reorganize her plate. Instead of counting calories, she focused on building her meals with purpose. A main protein source: eggs, fish, chicken, or legumes. A moderate portion of healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, colorful vegetables, and a small amount of whole carbs, quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato. This shift didn't just help her lose fat, it also stabilized her blood sugar. And in doing so, it reduced her cravings, anxiety, and fatigue. Burn this into your mind. It's not about eating less, it's about eating better so your body can function better. And for many women, that's a revelation. Because we grew up believing that eating less equals control, that skipping meals equals discipline, and that hunger is almost proof of willpower. But the female body doesn't operate through punishment, especially after 40. It needs something completely different: nutrients, stability, and intelligence. Not less food, better food. Food that's nutrient-dense and aligned with what your hormones need to function. Did you know that in this phase, your body loses muscle mass more quickly? And that to preserve bone mass and avoid fatigue, you need more protein, more omega-3s, and more minerals like magnesium? That's why, when you give your body what it truly needs, it responds. With energy, with mental clarity, with less anxiety, and yes, with a greater to burn fat naturally. And you know what the most freeing part of all this is? You don't need expensive supplements, powdered shakes, or magic formulas. What you really need is clarity, and a system that works with your body, not against it. Now you've got two solid pillars: smart movement, adapted to your hormonal phase strategic nutrition, that doesn't weaken you but sustains you. But there's still one more, and it might be the most important, yet also the most forgotten. Rest. The kind you've been putting off, sacrificing, justifying? The kind you've pushed to the bottom of the list because we've been taught that resting is wasting time, that sleeping too much is being lazy, that if you're not doing something productive, you're throwing the day away. But that belief is a deep mistake. Especially after 40, it might be the biggest obstacle standing between you and your well-being. Because rest, real rest, is no longer a luxury. It's a biological necessity. It's the moment when your body repairs itself, when the hormones that regulate your hunger, mood, energy, and fat-burning potential reset. And without that rest, nothing else works properly. That's what Mariana discovered. She realized her exhaustion wouldn't be solved with more coffee, more willpower, or more activity. She made a simple but powerful decision. She redesigned her nights. She didn't wait for chronic insomnia to kick in. She didn't wait to hit emotional rock bottom. She started with the basics: turning off screens an hour before bed, avoiding sensory overload, giving her mind a break, and then something even more important. She created a nighttime ritual, not another chore, but a sacred moment just for her. A calming herbal tea, a bit of light reading, a few deep breaths, a dim, quiet, unhurried environment. Nothing complicated, just presence, just connection. And the most important thing, she chose to prioritize her sleep, not as something optional, but as the foundation of everything else. And what happened? By the third day, her body was speaking a whole new language. She woke up with less anxiety, her mind felt clearer. She noticed she wasn't retaining water like before. The bloating went down. Because when you sleep better, everything improves. You eat better because you have fewer cravings. You train better because you have more energy. And you rest better because your body returns to balance. It's a virtuous cycle and it only needs to be activated. That's exactly what Mariana did. And that quiet, personal change was what pulled her out of stagnation. Today, she's over 45, and she didn't just lose the belly fat that had been bothering her for so long. She recognized herself again in the mirror. She began enjoying her body, not as a machine that had to perform, but as a space of life, strength, and connection. She felt like herself again, without guilt, without exhaustion, without fighting her biology. And you can do it too. Your body hasn't given up. It just needs you to speak its new language. One that respects its rhythms, one that works with it, not against it. This is the path. Smart movement. Conscious eating, restorative sleep. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start and stay consistent. Now that you have the map, all that's left is to take the first step. If this video gave you clarity, share it with a friend, because there are thousands of women feeling exactly like you do. Confused, exhausted, thinking this is just part of getting older, but it's not. This can change. And all they need is information, guidance, and a community that understands them. So subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and help us reach more women who feel lost today, but who can feel powerful tomorrow. And if you want to start right now without waiting any longer, click the video on screen. It'll show you a gentle, effective routine designed to activate your metabolism without raising cortisol. No equipment. From home. At your own pace. Because your body hasn't given up, it's just waiting for you to finally listen.